Hi everyone, we are here with British triathlete Beth Potter today to talk about how to smash your 5k PB. So back in April, you were the unofficial world record holder for a 5k, is that right?
It is, yeah. So I actually went to Podium 5k off the back of the Super League Arena Games in London, and yeah, so wasn't expecting too much from myself, but yeah, went and got stuck in and came away with a big shiny new PB.
Amazing, and what time did you actually run that in?
So I ran 14:41 for 5k on the road, which was a big PB for me, and yeah, I ticked a couple of boxes along the way as well.
Amazing, so that's also a British record.
Yes, it's a British record, so Paula Radcliffe held the record before. It actually doesn't go down as an official British record either because of the lack of official timekeepers, but it'll still be number one on the all-time list, so I can take that.
Amazing, absolutely. So Beth, can you give our followers some tips on how to smash their 5k PBs?
So 3 tips to improve your 5k are: number 1, do lots of cross training. So offload your legs in either the pool or on the bike. Number 2, try to do some interval training in the week. So something like 10 400s where you're running at quicker than 5k pace off short recovery. And number 3, try to do a longer run in your week where you're running at a kind of slower pace for a longer period of time. And this will help with your endurance.
So just going back to that a little bit then, if someone, for example, is running like 3 times a week with their, park run on a Saturday, how often do you think they should be cross-training during a week?
So for me personally, I actually cross-train more than I run, but I would say somewhere in the range between 2 to 3 times a week, of maybe up to anywhere between 30 minutes and 60 minutes.
And is that just to kind of take the pressure off your legs, or...?
It's more to prevent injuries, and it just means that you can train for a longer period of time and work your heart and lungs for longer and less damage to the legs.
So kind of more like stamina building, would you say?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So you also mentioned interval training. So kind of how many times would you incorporate that into a week as well? Again, if you were running like three times a week.
So for me, I have 1 interval training session a week, where I do anywhere between 3 and 4k at higher intensity than the 5k pace.
Okay, so if someone didn't have a running track near them, for example, what would you suggest that they did for this interval training?
So I would say go and find a kind of flat bit of road, and as long as you've got a watch, and just run hard for a minute and repeat.
Okay, and then slow it down in between.
So for example, I would do maybe 10 minutes of actual effort, and then keep the recovery short in between, and just make sure the effort parts are really hard and the recovery is really easy.
Cool. So you also mentioned about going for a longer but slower run throughout the time to kind of improve your 5k time as well. How much longer would you suggest? Is that kind of something you would build up over time, or how would you work that?
So I would say don't increase your mileage or your length of run too quickly, but do it more gradually, and also find some friends to do it with because it's more fun with a friend or a club.
So obviously you've had a great year this year. What's the plans for next?
Yeah, so this year has been really good. It's been a long year of racing, and I think been so grateful that we can get away to places and train and race, and that's been really great. But I think next year got some big goals to hit, and hopefully with a solid winter behind me, I'll be able to do that.
Huge thank you to Beth for coming with us today and sharing your 5k tips for getting a new PB. Everyone who's watching, don't forget to let us know how you're getting on with your training below.